Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on Bitcoin. As usual, if you guys like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As per my last video analysis, we're waiting for Bitcoin to approach the 30k to look for buy setups, and of course, unless we have a big momentum candle close from daily time frame below the 30k, then it would become resistance and a movement to our next rejection, or in this case it's a demand zone around the 20k would be expected. But anyway, let's take it step by step, and since price is still sitting above the 30k, it's still acting as a support area and will be looking for buy setups. If you zoom into H4 time frame, and as per my last video, also, we're waiting for price to form new swings around the upper trend line, and then we will buy on spec upward. And as mentioned last week, as price approaches the 30k and the lower red trend line, we will be also looking for buy setups on lower time frames. So long story short, waiting for it to approach the 30k from a medium term perspective from H4, waiting for price to break above this trend line to buy, and from a medium and from a short term perspective, we'll not buy here because we have a rejection of this trend line, waiting for price to approach the lower trend line, which is an oversold, and as I consider it an oversold trend line. In this case, we'll be looking for buy setups to catch this movement from here to here, and then we'll be buying after a break above the upper trend line, and as you can see here anyway. Now if we zoom into M30 time frame, we can see that the price is currently trading inside a shorter term channel, which you can see in orange. So we're bullish, then price broke it downward. Now we are overall bearish. And if you zoom out a little bit and make it a little bit higher, we can see that, and as mentioned previously, as price approaches this area, which is the intersection of the lower orange trend line, lower red trend line, and the 30k, we'll be looking for buy setups from a short-term perspective to catch the movement from here to the upper one from H4 time frame. So what we're waiting for is a new swing to form around our orange trend line, and then we'll be buying on spec upward. And of course, I'm not predicting that this will happen, right? So price can still do like this and like this, for example, and then breaks it upward. But you got the idea, waiting for a new swing or swings, it depends, to form around the upper orange trend line, and then and only then we will buying after a momentum candle close above it. And of course, the closer the buy get activated around this area, the better it would be. So if it would be around here, we will not buy because it's very close to the upper trend line. We want like to have an edge. We want the buy to activate around the lower support area. And of course, as mentioned previously, it would be better to be like this, for example, as it would be lower and around the support area. And again, as I always say, meanwhile, until any buys is activated, either from the short-term orange trend lines or the long-term, the medium-term H4 trend line, we would be overall bearish, and Bitcoin can still trade lower and lower and lower, and even dive inside this giant support area, or it's even a demand area. We'll see it in a bit from weekly time frame, like this, for example, before going upward. But the idea behind this analysis is that we are only looking for buy setups as long as Bitcoin is trading inside this range, and we will not buy immediately, as price, as mentioned, can still dive in like this, for example, before going up. So we can't really know where the reversal would be here, here, or here. That's why we wait for the buyers to take over before we enter the buy. For example, here we go, lower highs and lower lows, obviously. So we don't want to buy a bearish market, right? So always wait for extra confirmation and trigger before buying. And in this case, and as per my trading plan, I'll be waiting for this to happen. And as mentioned previously, would be overall bullish until a buy is activated here or from H4. And this is my trigger, obviously. Here we go. That's it for me. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.